There is one point in Dragon Ball Super superhero storyline that we have not talked about. No one has discovered it. No one has talked about this point, and it's something that has huge ramifications if followed through, if not retconned. It will change the trajectory of this movie and the story, because this point is crucial to understanding the Cell arc, and what most people believe this movie is trying to accomplish is trying to renew the Cell arc for a DBS audience. It's trying to bring it back for a nostalgia trip for the Z audience, at the same time giving the new audience basically Resurrection Cell in a sense. That's what we're thinking is happening, but for this to be the case, this one important point that no other YouTuber has been talking about or has mentioned at all, because I've watched all the videos and trust me, no one has come up with this, not even yours truly. I have the pleasure of discovering the person that actually ended up talking about this point, because this point changes everything. It makes the story of Dragon Ball Super superhero, the potential story that we believe is the story, it makes it a completely different story. You get what I'm saying? But without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to WKK Kanji, or World King Kanji, as most of you guys may know him. He has started a brand new YouTube channel due to issues with his old one, but this one, it is going down a positive trajectory. Only 500 or so subscribers and thousands of views a video. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot start a YouTube channel in 2022 and bring out bangers and catch the algorithm and grow, because it is possible, and this guy, he is doing it. But what really caught my eye is I got his newest video in my recommendation, Gamma Cell, and this video has something that I have never thought about in the process of deliberating and theorizing and discussing the story of Dragon Ball Super superhero, because it's been months that we've been discussing this story, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone else talk about this point right here. So what does World King Kanji think about Dragon Ball Super superhero in the first place?
But I think we do have to note, for our own sanity here and expectations, that there are many reasons why Cell returning to Dragon Ball is potentially a sh**ance idea. I have explained in my own thoughts about this in the past, but I will say that if it is done correctly, it could work really well and be a really fun and great nostalgia ride of a story.
So not the biggest fan of the DBS Cell idea. Honestly, I'm really not, or wasn't either. I would like certain characters to be left alone and new characters to be introduced. We got, honestly, the masterpiece that is MORO in the Dragon Ball Super manga, so I think that they have it in them to make brand new characters, although I wouldn't mind seeing movie characters rebooted myself. But I'm gonna let World King Kanji tell you his theory on what's going on in the movie, then I'll tell you exactly what the point is that nobody else has talked about.
Personally, would have loved the return of Cell to have been centered around a disbeliever of Mr. Satan. Maybe somebody who worked within the Red Ribbon Army at some point and had an amount of money that they could use. Seeing as everybody remembers how Cell attacked the world and Mr. Satan allegedly saved them, nobody has actually seen proof or footage of this. You of course saw the funny little recreation that was done at the World Tournament, but nobody's actually seen legitimate proof in this world. So this would be a great idea for somebody trying to catch out Mr. Satan and disprove him. You could have this person use their wealth or whatever that they have resources to create superheroes that could in fact beat Cell, with the critic of Mr. Satan learning about the Dragon Balls and using them to revive the real Cell, with the plan to have Cell eradicate Mr. Satan in front of the world and prove he couldn't defeat them, whilst then using these android superheroes to defeat Cell and gain the fame, the fortune, and the glory for himself. This makes perfect sense, it's got a motivation, there's fun nostalgia reasons for it to happen, and it just makes coherent sense of a story. Doesn't necessarily make sense of why they could create an android that could beat Cell, but then again, Cell was created by a person on the planet, so it's not impossible in Dragon Ball's universe.
The entire planet believes that Hercule is the one that saved them from Cell. This is reiterated to us in the Buu saga. This is something that keeps being drawn out in Dragon Ball Super, that he is rich because of this. He was a world martial arts champion. Yes, that is true, but because he is a hero of Earth, he keeps getting asked to do the most extreme things, which is face beings that harm the planet. So with that being the process, the thought process for what the Earthlings are going through when it comes to their belief in Cell, if someone were trying to resurrect Cell, they would believe the exact same thing, that Hercule is the one that defeated him. And so this must be addressed in the movie, or it is a complete retcon. If these humans believe that Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta and the Sea Fighters are the ones that destroyed Cell, then they better explain why, and they better have a mention of Hercule, because I have never heard anybody else talk about Hercule at all in terms of this movie, and it is a really big part of the Cell arc that everybody believes so much so that the entire ending of the Buu arc is all hinging on the fact that everyone believes Hercule is the savior instead of Goku and Vegeta. So this needs to be addressed in the movie, and I'm hoping that it will be, because I kind of at my limit with retcons. But what about Gamma Cell?
It appears with all the more information we get that whatever version of Cell we're going to see in this new movie probably won't be a resurrected Cell that we all saw in Dragon Ball Z, and this would act rather more like a duplicate of Cell, with enhancements made by Dr. Hiro. And going off of this, it's likely that Cell will hatch from his incubation chamber that we see in the trailer, the giant red smoking pod that resembles a bomb, and then he'll likely absorb Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, just as the idea was with 17 and 18. This will then form Gamma Cell, the new version of Cell, which will be more powerful, and a new transformation for this Cell-like being, who will likely still use the same name. It's possible that they may try and recreate Cell from the blueprints of Dr. Giro's original idea for Cell. This is still a cool idea for introducing a new bad guy like that of Cell.
I've talked about this before, but I think it is worth a mention that Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are not by mistake two androids that are kind of very similar, have numbers to them, and have that be the limit of their story element. To me, it seems highly likely that they are going to be gone by the end of the movie, because they will be absorbed in some way, shape, or form, probably not in the brutal way from Dragon Ball Z, because, you know, it's Dragon Ball Super, but more than likely in some way be absorbed by whatever creature comes out of this chamber, and then we're going to be getting Gamma Cell. I think keeping the name Cell makes sense because, I mean, you know, you're trying to connect this to old Dragon Ball Z, and Cell is a very popular name, but Gamma Cell, I think that's actually a pretty good name, and I honestly give World King Kanji kudos on coming up with it. He did a fantastic job, but this character, if these beings are as powerful as, say, Super Saiyan Gohan or even Ultimate Gohan, both of them being absorbed by even a stronger being, this could be a being like no other that we've ever seen. I feel like the designs for Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are so particular, so interesting looking. They look like sharks, and they're both identical. They're both twins. So whatever comes out after their possible absorption looks somewhat like them, and if it's modeled after Cell, it could very much look like this.
Subscribe for more content.